If I were to die tomorrow, I want to provide them with everything I can to make grief as easy to access as possible. For the last 15 years, I've been a fine art and wedding portrait photographer. I think we all have a lot that ties us together, and it's really interesting to see that and to find those things within a photograph. Where everything really started to change was when my father was diagnosed with a heart condition that ended up causing his death. Fast forward a couple of years, and my mom passed away somewhat unexpectedly. The thing about losing your parents, kind of the first thing, you're on a high-speed train. The day my mom died, we started making phone calls. From there, you're talking about, legal documents and visits to the bank. The average estate takes somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 hours to deal with. My mother, Helen, was a really great planner. So she had a pretty good idea of what we were gonna need, but there's no instruction there. And on top of that, there are all kinds of things that, being an executive for an estate in the 1990s, a lot's changed since then. I started to realize, we are not handling these matters in a way that's smart or efficient or allows us to grieve. I realized that I had a great idea and that it was important and it can make a difference to people. And I kind of felt like the photo business was no longer there. Let's bring the grieving process into modern times rather than handling it like the 1950s still. So Helen's plan is a roadmap to all of your responsibilities. Your family can see it all and know what they need to take care of, so there's clarity for them. Over the course of 2 years, we really spent a lot of time discovering what assets somebody would want to document, from social media accounts to online accounts and subscriptions and anything that you might have, land that you own somewhere. Put it all in one place so that we can eliminate the chaos. So far, the biggest learning experiences have been building a site that was intuitive for people that are over 40, over 60, and then also how do you build a system that's secure? Because that's a big part of this. Without security, we don't have anything. The other day I woke up and I realized that starting a tech business is a lot like being the executor of an estate, because you have a pile of things on your desk and you don't even know which. It's there's so much, it's so overwhelming. You don't know what to pick to start to do. And that clarity of the stopping point of those goals is really difficult to attain. You're just constantly moving forward on everything. Even though I'm really driven to get this done and I'm really motivated to get this done, there are days where you do not feel like you can possibly accomplish it. Part of the journey is understanding that there are going to be lows and highs, and when you have the highs, take a moment to savor it. But when you have the lows, you kind of need to take a moment to savor that too. If you don't really understand the depth of your lows, it's hard to appreciate the transitions back up. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of weekends, and it's a lot of this and this and this, right? So you have to be in it for the long haul, and you have to do your best to inform yourself about every single part of the business. Ultimately, it's on you to make it happen. Now the challenge is selling it to people, getting people to recognize its value, but then also getting them to make the leap into adopting it. If this thing costs me $100,000 to develop and only Holly uses it, it's worth it. For me, I see it as my greatest art project, right? I want to do something that impacts the world. As an artist, you want to make work that people respond to and that has an impact on their lives. And what better way than to build something that allows people to grieve in a more healthy way? I can't think of a better project to spend the rest of my life trying to figure out.